All right. Check this out. When you have a hierarchy of classes, you might think you could only do this. Parent P equals new parent, child C equals new child. But Java lets you do this. Parent P equals new child. What? So put into words, you could make a variable that's the parent type, but then you could point it to one of its subclasses. Yeah. So you could do meal equals hot dog or whatever the bottom thing was on that hierarchy we did the other day. It's a little bit freaky. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of bothered me that they allowed this. But why would you do this? Well, it allows you flexibility in certain circumstances. Remember the store assignment? Half of you did it. Those of you who didn't do it, it's worth 10 points. You can still turn it in, and I'd strongly recommend you do it. You did it on the store assignment, or I did it for you because I made the array list that was of products. And then all the different products could go in because the array list was the top level parent. So what I set up here is maybe you have to write a program that's going to have to deal with a bunch of different kinds of objects. As long as you make the array list or the array of the parent type, then the individual insides can, the little objects can all be different. So this is from, wrong day number, but this is from the store class. Check it out. Array list product. The store equals new array list product, but then we're adding a new product. Great, a new product, but then we're adding a dairy and we're adding an alcohol. But then when we print them, we can say product P, the store. Guys, quiet. When we're printing, we can say product P, the store, and we don't have to have dairy in there or alcohol in there, or like, we don't have to worry about that because we're dealing with the parent level. So it's very handy. Questions? By making the array list a product array list rather than a dairy array list, we're able to store all the subclasses in there. And then the loop at the bottom can print them all. It's very handy. Here's an example that will not work. Array list dairy, the store equals new array list dairy, the store add new product. What's wrong with that? Caleb.
You're trying to add the parent class to an array list of the sub.
Yeah, so the array list is dairy, that's one of the children, and then we're trying to add the parent. You can't go that way. I guess it says that. You could read and then transcribe what I wrote. But thank you. You could add more yogurts, but you can't make a dairy object point to its parent. You could make a product point to a child, though. Any questions? There's something else.
Ooh, that's a weird name.
It's a big word, polymorphism.
I like it.
Polymorphism means having many forms. And in Java, polymorphism happens when we use method overloading or method overriding in a hierarchy. So the many forms part is actually interesting. One example of this would be with the super frog. When you hop a regular frog, it goes n spaces, but when you hop a super frog, it goes 5 times that many spaces. So that's having different behavior with the same method, and that's because we overrode the method in the child class. But I made a class here called Flying Thing with 2 children. So check it out. We have Flying Thing. Public void fly is what it does, and when you fly the flying thing, it says it flies, but it doesn't say how. And then class bird extends flying thing. When you fly a bird, it flies by flapping its wings. And when you fly a baseball, it flies by being thrown or hit. Plus, the baseball happens to have a fly method that accepts a string. And when you do that, it means you got a home run. A little bit random, but this is polymorphism in action. We could make an array list or an array that was of the flying thing type, and then we could put bird, baseball, and generic flying things in there, and we could fly them all. All the code would work, even though it's different things on the back end. So here's an example of that. I made a flying thing, a bird, and a baseball. I added them all to an array list of flying things, and then I flew them all, and they all work, even though they're all different things. Questions? It's a little bit of a complicated topic. If you want to explore these ideas more, you could go on the AP Classroom and watch their videos. They're quite helpful for 9.5 and 9.6. You don't have to do that. No questions? Then I'm going to post 2 more REPLs, and that's your work for today. Also, if you didn't do the store, I'd strongly recommend doing that. In fact, I'd recommend you finish SuperFog and then do the store. Just get it done. Skipping these things, like I almost gave you the chapter test next Friday, but I thought, that's a little rushed, and I'm not. On the other hand, I don't think a lot of you could just sit down and write a bunch of classes. In the one hand, it's really simple. On the other hand, you have to know what you're doing. So if you copied the answers like from the board for things like that we did today, that's fine. But that means you don't know how to do it. So you should maybe try to do it again. It's up to you to put a little extra effort in. I'm not going to test you next Friday, but it probably will be the following Wednesday, if not on Monday. Yeah, why not Monday? It's not like you're studying Thursday night for a Friday test. I don't get the impression you guys are studying very much. So I don't mean to be critical. Maybe you're all studying. Feels like you just come on in